Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Eileen at Little Grace Nursery, and if you're new here, welcome. Hit like and subscribe and come back for all the fun, all the babies, the painting tips, the giveaways. I'm getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. But today we are focusing on my Reborn makeover tutorial. This is Nino, and I believe this is part 4. Don't quote me on it. I'll put it up here somewhere. So I've already done 2 blue washes. I've done veining, and now I'm going to do mottling. Typically what I do is I do blue in the creases and blue undertones, but I think when I did his blue wash, I think he really did get a lot of that blue undertoning, so I'm not going to really do that right now. I'm just going to go straight for the mottling. And don't mind my messy station. It is getting messy because I am working on 4 dolls, and I'm going to make a new mottling sponge because this one is pretty much had it. So we're going to toss that one. And what I do, I just have a cosmetic sponge wedge and a pair of tweezers, and I'm just going to take and kind of clip away at the edges because I don't want any real sharp edges. And we're gonna do that. And once I get all the edges out of the way, I'm going to just take and I'm going to just pluck some of the sponge out. I don't know how well you can see, but we are creating little holes, and I'm going to take and dump these. I'm not sure how well you can see, but there's our mottling sponge. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to do just a light purple mottling. And what I'm doing, I'm using a reddish purple mottling number 2. And I'm just taking, this is like my mixing brush for my mottling sponge. And I don't want it to be real dark. I don't want him to be overly mottled. And I'm going to make sure it's all mixed up well. And then I'm going to take my Mona Lisa odorless paint thinner and a little dropper. Oops. Oh, my goodness, I need to buy more. There's my cap. And I moved everything a lot closer to me, so hopefully you can see and I can see. And I'm just going to take and I'm going to put some paint on here, and I'm going to start. He's going to be rooted, so I'm just going to start. Yeah, I might need to put a little bit more color in here. And like I said, I don't want it to be too dark. Not really sure. I'm thinking I need a little bit more. There we go. And I'm just adding a little bit at a time. Oh, I bet this is more than enough now. Ah! Alrighty. All right, this will work. And we're just going to tap it out. Put some on the ears and around the ears. You want to make sure that you are getting all the spots covered. He has a pretty big head, so and it may not even be dark enough, but I can always go over it. I'm not sure. It probably needs to be darker. But I'm not going to really worry about it too much right now. I was just wiping away. I got some areas of, I don't know how I got that. But like I said, he's going to be rooted, so I'm not overly concerned. And we're just going to tap it out. And just make sure I didn't miss any areas. He still has a little bit of, whoops, a little bit of fat. I can't talk, pat pellets. He's got a little bit of fat pellets still falling out. He doesn't really have much, but there's like a couple stuck up there. Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to go back over him, but this is okay for right now. And I'm going to do his leg. And I always start like on the foot a little bit, just to give that some color, just around the foot, the top of the foot. And he's really got a bent leg here, so there we go. There we go, little Nino. Actually, it's the Nino kit, but his name is Bruno. then we will do one of his arms. And then I will do the other arm and the other leg off of camera. And we're gonna do the palm of the hand, fingertips, back of the hand, and then his arm. So you really can't, you probably can't see anything. I can barely see it. I am gonna have to go over and make it darker. But for now, it's okay because I don't want it to be too dark. Sometimes I like my mottling to be, I like to make a baby very mottled sometimes, and other times I don't, and we're not gonna make him very mottled. So anyway, we are going to let him dry, and then I'm going to bake him, and we'll be right back. See you in a bit. He is all baked now. He doesn't look much different, but where I stand looking at him, I can kind of see some of the purplish. So we're gonna leave him that. I'm not gonna put any more purple on him. But I am going to take a little bit of purple and go up his nostrils a little bit because Mom does not want open nostrils. So we need to shade them. And then I'm going to take, what I have here is strawberry blush. And this is still the Genesis heat set paints, or actually, maybe these aren't Genesis, but they're heat set paints. I'm not sure which one. So I have some of that mixed up with my Mona Lisa paint thinner. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go, and I'm going to go into the creases. We're going to go into this little divot here. I'm going to do a little bit of outline on the lips, just to kind of start getting a little bit of color on the lips, and then the rest of the creases. And the back of his neck, around his ears. And I'm actually going to go in his ears here and around the outer edge of the ears. This is just to kind of get a little bit of the pinkness. He is going to be biracial, sort of like a lighter skinned, but we still want to see some pink showing through, or Mom still wants to see some pink showing through. So we're going to start off like that. And I'm going to take this brush here and just kind of blend it out. And this is still very, very light. I'm not going very dark right now. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to get my mottling sponge again. And what did, oh, here it is. And so this is still going to be light. It's going to be a light shading, or mottling rather. And I'm just going to go oops. Just going to go all over and model him. I don't know how well you can actually see when film, but we're just going all over his head here. And then I'm going to set him aside to dry, and I'm going to do his arm. So for his arm and his hand, I'm just going to go over his fingertips. And it's not going to be real noticeable on the first coat. Even the second coat, you may not really notice too much of a difference or too much of a color, but you want to gradually build up the color. You don't want to clump paint on there. So again, we have very opaque paint here. We're going to go into all of his creases. And I'm going to go over the palm of his hand. Oops, I gotta do his thumb. And then we're going to go all over the palm of his hand. again, we're going to go in all the creases. And you can go darker. I'm just going a little lighter to start off with. I can always go back over it. But I'm going lighter because sometimes when I'm doing a tutorial, I tend to not be able to see real well because I'm trying to get my painting into the camera's view instead of holding it up real close to me, although I did move it closer to me this time around. So so typically when I'm doing a tutorial, I kind of wind up thinking, ugh, I put too much paint on it, and I don't want to do that with him. And we're just going to blend it out. And I'm going to set him over here and get my mottling sponge ready. Going to finish his arm, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other arm, and then with the legs the same thing. I'm going to paint the bottom of the feet, and I'm going to go in all the wrinkles and creases, and then I'm going to do mottling. So I'm not going to show you the other arm and the legs, so pretty much this is it. And I will bake him, and then we will be back. Nino has baked. Actually, Bruno. I keep calling him Nino, but this is Bruno. And this is what he looks like. You can't really tell too much, probably on the film, but he does have a light pinkish mottling. It's very light. I'm actually going to go over that. And what I'm going to do, and I'm only going to show you on the head because you've seen me do it with the other colors. So I'm just going to show you what I'm doing now, which I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm taking my Mona Lisa, and I just have the crimson in this little well here. And this is just Bountiful Baby crimson. So I just want to, again, make it very opaque. And we're going to stir that. I don't want his mottling to be too overwhelming. So we're going to mix it really well. And we're going to take, I know my station's getting really messy here. So again, remember, I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to take the hands and the feet, and I'm going to do the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet, and just do a little bit of details. We'll get more into the details as time goes on. But basically, this is what we're doing. Let me see what you're looking at. I can't see. So I did want to just show you this because I am doing this part also, and this just kind of builds up the pink color more. So we're going to get these undertones, and we're going to go and I will do the rest of the creases and everything off film, and I'll do the hands, but I'm going to show you the face. And I go in all these creases, same thing with the arms and the hands, but I'm not going to show you that, and I will do the mottling on that. So for little Bruno here, for his ears, I'm going to take and I'm going to just go over. And like I said, this is my style. Once you start painting, you'll get your own, you know, little style down. Just watch all different people's videos because everybody has a different style. There's really no, I don't think there's really a right style or wrong style of painting, as long as the end result, you know, looks nice. So we're going to do this. And I get kind of quiet when I'm painting, otherwise I kind of forget where I'm at. So maybe I'll speed it up. I don't know. So as you could see, as I was going along and doing the creases, I'm also going and I am blending it out. So now we are ready for mottling. And I'm going to take my mottling sponge and I'm going to put some of this paint on it. And again, I'm going to just test it on the head first. All right. And then I do the ears. We get a little mottling on the ears. It looks like little blood vessels. So we are finished mottling his head, and I am going to go ahead and do his arms and his legs, and that will be the completed part of, what is it, did I say this was part 4, I think? Mottling and creases. Now keep in mind, I am not done with creases. I will do more creases and more shading and everything. This is just like the preliminary. So yeah, so we'll see you on part, what, 5? I'm going to put a photo of before and after up for this section, what he looked like before I started painting and what he looks like after he bakes here. So stay tuned for those photos. All right, I'll see you all later. Love you all. Bye. I said goodbye a little too early. So what I'm going to do before I bake Bruno's head here, I am going to do a little bit of his lips. I like to do the lips as I go along. so I can keep that lip line going, and that I'm not scrambling at the end to get paint on it and trying to see where the lip line is. So I like to do that as I go along. Now his lips look like, I guess they could be interpreted as, I go all the way out to the lip line. Maybe I should ask Mom if that's what she wants me to do. But I think he looks better. Sorry if I'm going out of the screen here. So yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, it looks like his lip line goes a little below this crease here. Okay. Try and get in here real tight. Okay. And go up his nose a little more. And I might actually do a little purple on his eyelid while I'm here. Just to get that little bit of that tint. Not done yet with the coloring, but to get it started. Alrighty. Now I think we can say, see you on our next video, but stay tuned for the before and after pictures. Bye.